Welcome back. We're watching more Hunter x Hunter, and well, we saw the beginning of the fight between the king and the chairman. Of course, it's much less of a fight, more a spoiled child throwing a hissy fit in a supermarket. Just how much patience does the king have? Honestly, I would be actually fully committed to a one-on-one fight with two like-minded and equal combatants, though I don't think that's what we're actually getting. The fact that this is a completely uphill struggle, that's what makes it interesting. But of course, we also saw the return of Palm, although in a slightly different attire and skin, body morphology. How's it going to be should she actually manage to speak to Gon to see how he's getting on and reintroduce herself? What about Nefertari? Waiting for the perfect moment to do anything. Are we going to see what that is? Let's start the episode and find out. Deep underground, with thousands of fists flying through the air, the king and the chairman clash, although how one can find inner peace in a moment like this is beyond me. I do like the small glimpse we got in the previous episode, having him so thankful to be able to go all out like this and have a battle that is truly means something. I think no matter what comes out of this, at least the chairman will have a little fun. Although the future of the human race does kind of hinge on this, so I'm not sure how it's going to resolve itself. Honestly, some things are well, best left unsaid. Ignorance is bliss and all that. I'd rather not know how many years the entire ecosystem around here is going to need to try and fix itself after the Chimera ants went through and ravished the entire thing. Zero and Rose. Oh, that's neat. Seeing a few frames here and there. Reaction shots, them leaping and jumping. The battle's going on without actually needing to show it. If he lets him get too close, though. He has so many hands there, he can react to quite a lot. He just needs to be fast enough. Is the king enjoying this, though? You could actually barely follow it. And that that emotion would be? Well, that, not entirely surprising, but that is perfect. Having the king see the effort and beauty in what he's managed to achieve. But he's a quick learner, that one. If he didn't need to bring his hands together, the strive of the unfortunate is one that might be above what is actually needed to think about in this situation. But more, he's been caught into a... Is the king trying to guess his backstory? I mean, he's not... If this is the king's imagination, he's not too far from what we were shown. Yeah, he's been driven into a corner. Nothing else that Netero can really do. To get where he is today. Well, barely a scratch. He's a little dusted up, but... What would the king's limit be? That might be somewhat infuriating. Although he was trying to give some praise there. How many attempts is he going to be? Keeps jumping in, lashing out. Is he going to try a feint at one point and... True. All he has to do is keep trying until Netero gets tired or anything. How many of the moves is he going to make him reveal? He can find a... Exactly. He can find a way in. The fact he's treating this like just a Gemaguni or something. There's a way through the flurry of blows. All he has to do is throw him off that rhythm. I do like... That's what you said right at the beginning, back before, What game was it? Was it chess? Checkers? Huh. Ah. Yeah, he said it before. Throwing his opponent off their rhythm. That's a way in to victory. He's having fun. They're not so different after all. It's a interesting opponent he's been forced to meet up with. It'll be death in an instant. Is the time that he's spent thinking about this going to become a detriment to him as well? Well, he has more up his sleeve than we know. The Zero Hand. I mean, Zero on a Rose. That was the title of the episode. But what does it? What does it entail? There are so many good moments, little just shots in this. Hundreds and thousands of hits. Even the likes of the king will start to feel some pressure after a while. He let one through. It's not over yet. I mean, that is. Well, then he won't know his name. What? Forcing the wound closed. Would many be able to continue on and keep their focus like that? Would not impervious. The one and only enemy he could not best. Because he has favoured counters and moves that he uses. Did not even last a minute. He's already went into this knowing that there's probably no way out, and after losing his leg, yet that's... What a battlefield. Zooming about the sky, as it were, amongst a field of flowers. Towards a certain path. The king, as was predetermined, already figured it out, threaded the needle from a galaxy away. He did say, how many moves ahead is the king? Back down to sitting, are we? Is this the... It's just what he had assumed. The movements were merely habit rather than a prerequisite. Even without limbs, he could continue. Looming from behind. With indiscriminate love. What are these descriptions of the attack here? The fact that... Was this back when he was practicing? Powering up? Focused entirely in... Jesus Christ. Who's the evil one here? Having that face and moment there. The light from 1,000 stars condensed into a single attack. I didn't expect to have a battle that's coated in holographic foil. You know, that iridescent shine put across it. Hot enough to melt the stone itself. But is it enough? That's a frail looking hand. How much of his own life's energy did he expend in that? While still, losing a copious amount of blood. Was that showing his eyes being completely sunken, or you exchanged in the attack? I don't... Okay, I do see signs of wear and tear, but that's the extent of the damage sustained from that? Well, balls. I wonder if he's got anything else other than the zero hands. That's a cool image. Also, a very striking representation of what he's talking about here and how he feels being the king. How it's the universe's role for him to be in control over everything. That the strong human ego is an issue when it comes to the ants. Both quality and quantity. I mean, he gained his respect from that battle, if nothing else. However, will, upon hearing his name, change anything? And it is that when... Excuse me. Did I just glimpse into hell itself? Miriam? You can hear it in his voice that he's not quite the man he was before, but was not able to savour the sound. Well, because of what the hell is going on here, where we're seeing the very bowels of hell that are usually left represented for antagonists being shown off in the chairman. My dude, you may need some moisturizer. He encompasses the purity, the limitless purity to the very depths of malice, despair, and anger. He's got it all covered, hasn't he? Well, not a bluff. Well, this will detonate. Sure, if he pisses his own heart. Is the king turning to GTFO? Since the beginning. How much of this was science and how much of it was Nen? Because if it was contracts and whatnot put in place of himself there to make it even stronger. Surprisingly lethal. Yeah, I mean, look at it. That's probably not a good idea. Miniature rose. So let me just get this straight. He had this world's equivalent of a nuclear warhead implanted in his chest. Good thing he went to a deserted place. Don't have to worry about a nuclear wasteland if it's already deserted like this. I would shudder if the king managed to get out of this one without a scratch. But Netero going in this, having fun, maybe, would have wanted to end it quickly and go home, but fully anticipating needing to use the whole excuse me. The writing of Hunter x Hunter is like, it's not just straight on, is it? Having the battle go this way, where the chairman tells the king of his name, both as a moment to kind of distract him in that moment, but also to display his winning move. I am victorious here, so as a pity point, here's your name. What would the royal guards think of this situation? Having the miniature rose out in the distance, knowing the king is over there somewhere. Will they instinctively know that there's trouble brewing on the horizon? I really do like that the chairman being like sitting on the precipice of human evolution, human ability. The man himself not immune to every pitfall and trap that any one of us has. We're not indefinitely good. He has his own issues, like how he started showing boredom with his fights, letting the enemy do their first move, because it all just became tedious. There was no fun in this. No one's strong enough. No one's putting in the effort. The duality of man having the peace of mind to envision tranquility in heaven, while incorporating this level of destruction. And to take down anyone and everyone within a 5-mile vicinity. Despite what we've seen for the past 20 episodes or so with the fight in the palace, where we can have 2 episodes encompass 30 seconds, the fact that this fight probably lasted, well, the second bit was over in a minute, we got that bit of time, but this didn't last long. The chairman wasn't exactly withstanding a lot for a long time. It was fairly concise. The king raining down what he would assume to be finishing blows just for the chamber. No, it's not over yet. The fact that the king showed a bit of pity, maybe? A bit of restraint. Like, I've won now, stop. There was no stop for Netero. If the king had known that, maybe he would have... No, there was no getting out or getting away from this. If he had killed him, boom. If you'd completely incapacitated him for a while, that might have done it. Would he be able to stop his own heart if all limbs were removed? There's so much I didn't expect to see, considering we left off the previous episode with... And then this episode was just annihilation. Quite a difference between nice symbol of love and skulls. Hans, are we the baddies? And if anyone knows that reference and can say what it's from down in the comments, you've earned my respect. But for now, there's a lot to think about. Well, not really, there's only a small amount to think about, but it carries such significance that it's going to take a while. The choreography in this episode was stellar, the animation was pretty damn good, the use of colour, lighting, freeze frames when needs be, really, it knew when to hold a moment, when to zoom past it, when to show speed, when to show restraint. It really could have easily devolved in an unintelligible mess. We couldn't really follow anything. But instead, pretty much held up with everything else that Hunter x Hunter has done, so can't really complain. But my god. Well, I think we'd be feeling the shockwave from that for quite a distance. Whether or not it will reach back to the palace, soon to find out. Considering there is another episode on the way, maybe you want to stick around to see it. If you enjoyed this one, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. If I've done anything to entertain you today, consider subscribing to the channel. But for now, whether or not you get any rest, I really do hope I see you in the next one. If you want to join me and one of the hundreds of hands that help support the channel, consider joining onto my Patreon. Because thanks to everyone, including Noku, Raywin, Sal, Travon, Shiwan, Akane, Guado, Tori Jane, Kite, Light Wizard 91, Mega42, Diego Zenhausen, SZ9870, Croyville, and all the others. I may be able to last more than 5 or 10 minutes into the grand arena and fight that is continuing to put content out on YouTube. So, if you would like to see that continuing, consider helping me out as well.